What? Boom. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Gov Seeks. It's going to be an exciting one. We've got some good business going on today. Wow, this hair is just, look at that little, it just is getting long and weird, this thing. I can't even, there we go. Well, that looks really bad. Like it. But now it's coming down conchoculus style. We're just going to push it up. Guys, support our LiberaPay so I can buy hair plugs. You know what I mean? We're going to really need that soon. I just turned 87 years old. I'm 87 years old. Thank you, everybody, for watching over on the CIA Tube and, of course, Facebook Live and therockfin.com/Grab Elwood. Hello, Truth to Tweet, Venetia David over on the Rockfin. We've got, share this out on your social media. Let everybody know we're doing it. We are going live. Here we are, live television. Not really, just internet. Kind of doesn't matter. It's not as fun. That is more fun. I don't know. TV was pretty fun. Working in television was fun. All right. Gentle reminder, keep the discussions in this chat clean and respectful and refrain from using racist, sexist slurs as well as personal insults. You can disagree all you want. When you start getting insulting, you're going to get blocked. Just fucking flat out blocked. If you're a troll, we're going to block you and you have a stupid life. So have fun. Let us bring him on, the host of Redacted tonight, at Moment of Clarity. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Camp.
Hey, man.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing? So what is the goal with the hair? Is it to make it capable of stabbing others? Is it
Yes?
Is it a defense mechanism? Or?
It is a weapon. It should be used. I want to use it as a weapon. I want it to be like, I don't know, because it's just like I try to push it up and then it just kind of, I don't know.
I mean, we're all rooting for you, Graham. We're all on your side in this thing.
We're all rooting for you. I'm just trying to just reclaim, since I've lost so much area here, I'm really trying to reclaim this beachhead.
Try to reclaim the beachhead.
Like, so.
Will you just send in some forces from the sides?
I'm trying to, I can only spread this hair out so much. You know what I mean? I'm running out of areas to spread. So really go to liberapay.com/government secrets so I can get hair plugs. That's my goal, is to just get hair transplants and be done with it. Because I see all these like the hair medications and it regrows it. I'm like, oh, I got to put like the serum on my head twice a day. Like, what am I doing? Like, come on.
You haven't gotten to the spray paint yet, right?
I mean, that's next. I might just get like, could I just get like a hair tattoo that just makes my hair look luxuriously full, like it did when I was in my 20s?
You can join Graham on his other show, Follicle Secrets, where he reveals the inside story of today's hair.
If anyone's got any follicle secrets to help me regrow my hair, please let me know. If someone's got a special homemade shampoo or something like that, that would be really, I would definitely, send me your homemade shampoo. Oh God, please don't.
Yeah,
I've received so much weird shit in my PO box.
If you get a package that's dripping when it arrives, that's usually a bad sign. Almost always bad.
A Sharpie label, like homemade hair shampoo. Oh, then what could be in that? What could be bad about that?
What could possibly go wrong with some random person's homemade hair shampoo?
I've had people send me homemade food. That's not weird at all. Strangers sending me food in the mail. There's nothing weird about that.
No, nothing weird at all.
No,
it's about a 50-50 chance it's got weed cooked into it. So you really gotta. It's a roulette type of situation.
Yeah, here's a T-shirt made with ayahuasca. Like, oh boy, this is gonna go south in a hurry. Well, Lee Camp, welcome to Government Secrets episode 65. Halfway to 130, buddy.
Wow, you did that math quick. I'm impressed.
I'm a math haver. I can half it up quick.
I'm really good math haver. Yeah.
Yes.
Not an English speaker, but a math haver. Okay. We know Graham's strong suits.
Simple math, but not English, not speaking the language he was born in. So this is our second episode of a first kind of unnumbered not even a segment, just a This Week in Government Secrets.
That's right. And I kind of called an audible on this one. The initial This Week in Government Secrets, as I did a little more research, is now going to be a whole segment.
So we're not really doing it This Week in Government Secrets. We're just
no, we are. So I added it This Week's in Government Secrets. So basically, both the first segment and the opening segment are both This Week in Government Secrets.
Oh, they both happen this week in Government Secrets. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So the short one is the real This Week in Government Secrets teaser is this week, and actually today in 1942 and during World War II, was the turning of the tide in the Battle of Stalingrad in the Soviet Union. The forces under General Zhukov launched Operation Uranus, which I think most battles should be called Operation Uranus, honestly.
Just Operation Ballsack.
Yeah. Because it honestly, if your soldiers on the other side and they're coming at you screaming Uranus, like, I feel like it's intimidating. It would have an intimidation power.
I would be like, boy, this is going to be a weird invasion. I'm going to tell you this right now.
This is what type, actually, do you have binoculars? What type of weapons are they holding?
What is this? Do they all have strap-on dildos? Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah. But Operation Uranus, if you want to be a little more polite about it for dinner conversation, was a counterattack at Stalingrad. It turned the tide of the battle in the USSR's favor. And here's where the government secret side of things comes into it. We've mentioned this before, is that the Soviet Union, in just the Battle of Stalingrad, lost over 1 million soldiers. And in the totality of World War II, lost 24 million people. So thought I'd throw that in there as a little today in government secrets.
Happy November, everybody. When I was in Russia 2 years ago and I went to St. Petersburg, which was formerly called Stalingrad, there was people telling me about it. And they're like, their grandparents and the rationing that happened there. You were given like a piece of bread. This was it. And there was like, not only did a bunch of soldiers die, people died from starvation. It was brutal. It was gnarly, man. I mean, what the Russians had to go through in World War II is like, what we went through was pales in comparison. Like, we lost maybe 420,000 people total. That's including Pearl Harbor. And they lost 24 million people and many civilians. I mean, it was just awful.
But it was we're still the heroes.
Of course. Yes. We're the heroes of everything. America's always great. Always. I mean,
because you seem to be forgetting, Graham, America. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously we have a great judicial system, as we saw today. So I mean, everything's just stacking up for America.
Yeah. You can slice and dice what happened in the Rittenhouse trial a million different ways, but I don't think you can ever get beyond the factor that in America, if you're a white guy, you can shoot and kill someone who's chasing you or swinging a skateboard at you and serve no time. If you're a black guy, you hold up a cell phone, you'll likely be killed by police. So that's, you can get into all the details of who was doing what or who was running where or whatever the fuck. Yeah. But that fact won't change.
If a black man brought an AR-15 to a protest and was running towards the police, they would have fucking gunned him down.
It wouldn't last long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, really, honestly, I don't think he'd have to run towards the police. I think standing around, it would get ugly for him real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's getting aside from This Week in Government Secret.
Yay! Now it's gonna have more of a Benny Hill theme.
So, since it's kind of a secondary This Week in Government Secrets, I guess we'll start with this for segment one. This is now we've done the true history of Thanksgiving in past episodes, so I wasn't intending to just make it that, but this is specifically about the tribe that helped the first Pilgrims survive in that time. And for those who don't know, and we really shouldn't call it Thanksgiving, and I'll get into why we shouldn't call it that, but we should come up with a new, let's call it Family Day. People hang out with their families or something. But anyway, this is the 400th anniversary this year
of America Gluttony Day.
Yeah, call it Eating Lots of Shit Day. But this is the 400th anniversary. It was 1621. So, were you aware of that, Grant?
No.
Do you have the appropriate streamers and pointy party hats?
I will have to go back and change them because I didn't realize this was 400, but I will go. I'm going to go to a party city as soon as we're done recording the show and get my 1621 400 anniversary.
There we go. That's what I was hoping to hear.
Memorabilia. Is there a graph or something, a slide for this one?
Yes. Yes, although I'm trying to decide if I want to reveal it yet. Yeah, all right. We can reveal it.
It's a secret slide?
Well, sometimes the titles of the articles give away something, but I like to build a story here, Graham. I don't know what you're fucking working towards with your floppy shit.
I don't know what kind of weird hairdo bullshit you're going to yap about in your dumb segment. Whatever Operation Count Chocula hair. You
didn't take storytelling 101. You don't give away the ending first. All right. The man who claims to be a movie aficionado. It's like, oh yeah, Matrix, fake world. You just yell fake world at people as they're walking.
By the way, Rosebud was a sled. Anyway, here we go.
Hey, what you got your tickets to? Fight Club? Oh, it's all in his head. It's all in his head. Have fun. You have fun in there.
Never seen Star Wars? Darth Vader's his dad. All right, good luck.
Good luck. I wonder why they didn't title it Darth Vader's his dad. Seems far more accurate.
Saving Private Ryan? Yeah, they saved him. A bunch of guys died at the end, but they got him.
Yeah, no, he's all good. All his friends are dead. Everyone he's ever met is dead, but he's good. So
yep,
anyway,
that's how I storytell.
That being said, you can now reveal the slide of the. This is from the Seattle Times, and they did a great article.
And this is Government Secrets Segment 1, also of This Week in Government Secrets. A double play of This Week in Government Secrets.
I was hoping that would go on for the next 14 minutes. We're doing 2 of the similar segments coming up. This is this week, these 7 days together. It happened on this same day or week within past years of government secrets happening now.
Oh, shit. Someone in the chat was saying that I was incorrect, that actually St. Petersburg was Leningrad.
Oh.
But I thought they changed it from Leningrad and then, it was Stalingrad. And then when they de-Stalinized the country, they changed it to Leningrad and then it got changed to St. Petersburg. But I could be wrong. Anyway, that's who gives a shit.
I bet if I'm not going to do it because I'm going to start reading this story, but if Kate wants to get on the Google machine, she could figure that out in probably 30 seconds.
Get on the Google machine, Kate.
Well, we need our hordes of producers to handle this right now.
Well, one of them is a secret, and I don't know if he or she is watching right now.
Do we have a video feed of he or she in silhouette with a voice alteration we could go to?
Stop talking about Graham's hair and move on.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
All right. On a hilltop above Plymouth Rock in Plymouth, Massachusetts, there's a quiet tribute to the American Indians who helped the starving pilgrims survive. Few people bother to visit the statue of Osamequin, the chief or sachem of the Wampanoag Nation, whose people once numbered somewhere between 30,000 and 100,000, and whose land once stretched from southeastern Massachusetts to parts of Rhode Island. This year's the 400th anniversary of the Pilgrims' arrival. The actual history of what happened in 1621, though, bears little resemblance to what most Americans are taught in grade school. There was likely no turkey served, there were no feathered headdresses worn, and initially there was no effort by the Pilgrims to invite the Wampanoags to the feast that they'd made possible. There was also no getting so drunk that you accidentally kiss your cousin at the end of the night. I added that part. In the 1600s, they lived in 69 villages, each with a chief or a sachem and a medicine man. They had messenger runners, members of the tribe with good memories and the endurance to run to neighboring villages to deliver messages. So it was like a human form of walkie-talkies. They hadn't yet come up with the can and the string. So
This is pre-cannon string technology.
Pre-cannon string. It was lean times pre-cannon string. They had traded and fought with European explorers since 1524. So there's kind of secret number one is 1621. The Pilgrims were not the first white people they ever saw. A lot of people, when I was growing up, I totally believe that was the first, white people to have ever shown up. The Wampanoags were nearly wiped out by a mysterious disease that some Wampanoags believe came from the feces of rats aboard European boats, while other historians think it was likely smallpox or possibly yellow fever. It was known as the Great Dying. The pandemic lasted 3 years. So that's pre-Pilgrims, but post-white people. So it clearly could have come from white people, likely came from white people. By 1619, 2/3 of the Wampanoags had been killed by it. I mean, could you even fucking imagine 2/3? The English explorer Thomas Dermer described the once populous villages along the banks of the bay as being utterly void of people. The Wampanoags kept tabs on the Pilgrims for months. So they basically watched them. I mean, they were in the surrounding areas and they didn't immediately, they dealt with enough white people to know that some of them had already been enslaved by white people. So they both traded with and fought, like it said. So when these white people showed up, when these Pilgrims showed up, they watched from a distance to kind of see how the fuck it would go down. And with the Pilgrims, they were less weary, actually, because they didn't think the Pilgrims were going to, come around and murder them because they brought women and children, which was unusual. And so the word the history that's been passed down is that the Wampanoags, first of all, were destroyed by disease. So they're not really capable of strong defense at that time. But then on top of that, they see the women and children walking off the ship and they think, oh, these are probably better people than the other ones we've fucking encountered.
Moral of the story, there's no such thing as good white people.
Yeah. So Osamequin, often referred to as a Massasoit, which is his title and means great sachem. And obviously, I apologize for all of the things I'm mispronouncing, but I want you to know, if you are Native American out there, that I would be mispronouncing any culture this horribly right now. So it's not just you. I just would mispronounce anything. Faced as nearly impossible situation, historians and educators have said his nation's population had been ravaged by disease. He needed to keep the peace with the neighboring peoples. He probably reasoned that the better weapons of the English, guns versus his people's bows and arrows, would make them better allies than enemies. So he figured they got guns, they got women and children, probably a little easier to talk to, and we could have allies with guns. So in the spring of 1621, he made the first contact. It wasn't that he was being like friendly. He was just in dire straits, many believe. They were desperately trying not to become an extinct peoples. By the fall, the Pilgrims, thanks in large part to the Wampanoags, teaching them how to plant beans and squash in a mound with maize around it and use fish remains as fertilizer, had their first harvest of crops. So the Pilgrims are really suffering. I mean, they're fucking starving to death.
Right.
And without being taught some of the tricks, they likely would have died out. I think many of them did die, but they likely would have completely died out. So they had this first successful harvest of crops. To celebrate the success, the Pilgrims had a big harvest feast that became the basis for what's now called Thanksgiving. The Wampanoags were not invited. So there's your first government secret. This grand feast was not, let's have them over to thank them for what they've done for us.
They helped them, and then well, thanks for the help, but we're kind of busy throwing a big party that you can't come to.
I mean, you know how it is. You ask your neighbors if they can donate some beer, and then you don't invite them to the party.
Right, exactly. You guys say, can we borrow your cooler? And then, but there's no space in our backyard.
Yeah. Can we borrow? Do you have any giant coolers that could hold like 100 beers? Oh, what are you using it for? Nothing. Nothing's going on tonight. Nothing. We're fine. It's for body parts. I chopped up a dude. Go away. Give me the cooler. Go away.
Oh, what assholes! 400 years ago, still just wouldn't even invite them to you helped us live, you helped us survive, but we just couldn't. It wasn't room at the party. You know what I mean? It was kind of one of those weird oval tables, and they just didn't have enough. You know what I mean? Like
they ran out of chairs was the real problem.
They ran out of chairs. You get? I mean, you guys have no place to sit. I just feel bad for you. So
it's awkward. Yeah. So
right.
It's better. You can take some in a to-go box. Do you want some in a to-go box? Just don't hang out here because we don't want to talk to you, really.
This honestly feels like this is why the wealthy have always been horrible. I remember I directed this short film, Hello Junkie, and I did it with my buddy Tim Bennett, and we took it to a bunch of festivals, and we were invited to some big, rich film festival up in Napa Valley, Sonoma County, one of those big Northern California wine things.
Yeah.
And the festival was sponsored by Porsche. And they had a big closing night party.
And everyone gets a Porsche.
And the filmmakers weren't allowed in this main tent.
Really?
We're like the rich people. And we were like, what? And they're like, it was just for them. Like, I was like, why did you invite us here? Like, they literally didn't let we had to sneak in, and they were like, what are you guys doing here? We're like, well, we're the filmmakers of your film festival. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, you guys kind of stand over there. It was like, I was sitting there like, fuck this place.
Wow.
And they were rich assholes. They didn't care about us at all. We were like the help. It's like, why did you guys even have a film festival?
Exactly. They viewed you like, to them, a film. They're so wealthy that a movie is like a dinner dish, and you're the one that cooked it. So you can walk up and say, "I hope you enjoyed the dish I made," and they can go, "Oh, it was excellent, thank you." Now scurry along.
Yes, that was like, you guys. If it wasn't for filmmakers, you wouldn't have a film festival. You fucking rich sacks of shit. It was just like, I was so mad. It was the Sonoma Valley Fest or something. We were just like, we were so pissed off. And and there was these big Porsches and these giant tents. I mean, this was a festival that spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on tents and catered food. And we were treated like rats.
And so you might not know this looking at us filmmakers, but it turns out several of them very good at setting tents on fire. So that part went really well. That part of the festival.
That was great. We had a bonfire of Porsches.
So yeah, not invited to the first Thanksgiving. However, the drunken idiot pilgrims start shooting off their guns in revelry. And I imagine, with muskets, that was pretty rare because it's first of all, they don't have that many musket balls. It's a lot of effort. So I think it was rare to hear muskets going off without there being a reason. So
Right.
the Wampanoags nearby assumed there was like a fucking war going on, that they were headed to war with somebody. And so 100 warriors showed up armed to the teeth after they heard the muskets fired. And they were told by the pilgrims that it was a harvest celebration. So then they were like, oh, okay. And they brought in 5 deer to share. They brought in fowl fish, eel, shellfish, possibly cranberries from the area. And at that point, the pilgrims were like, oh, you should join us. I also think that when 100 warriors with all of their weapons showed up, it's possible the pilgrims were like, hi. You should join us.
Yeah. Want some stuffing and mashed potatoes?
Because those arrows look sharp. Why don't you hang out with us?
We're just drunk assholes shooting our guns into the sky, potentially causing a war.
So in his book, This Land is Their Land, author David Silverman said school children who make construction paper feathered headdresses, as my brother did. I remember him coming home and dressing up in the construction paper headdress. He said the school children who make the construction paper headdresses every year to portray the Indians at the first Thanksgiving are being taught fiction. The Wampanoags did not wear feather headdresses. Men wore a mohawk that was made from porcupine hair, and they strapped that to their heads. So if you want to be accurate, wear a porcupine mohawk at Thanksgiving. So this goes back to one of the Wampanoag historians today. He says, for us, Thanksgiving kicked off colonization. Our lives changed dramatically. It brought disease, servitude, and so many things that weren't good for Wampanoags and other indigenous cultures. Linda Coombs in Aquina, Wampanoag, who is a tribal historian, museum educator, said, Thanksgiving portrays an idea of us seeming like idiots who welcomed all these changes and supported the idea that pilgrims brought us a better life. The current version supports an idea that they believed pilgrims were bringing a better life because they were superior and they had superior weaponry and everything like that. But the truth is they were not idiots. The Native Americans knew that white people could be fucking dangerous. Some of them had already been taken into slavery, but they just kind of made a calculation that it was better to treat these people right and gain allies. Mother Bear, a clan mother and cousin of Paula Peters, whose English name is Anita Peters, tells visitors to the tribe's museum that a 1789 Massachusetts law made it illegal and punishable by death to teach a Mashpee Wampanoag Indian to read or write. If you just taught a Native American to read or write in 1789, you could be punished by death. She recounts how the English pushed the Wampanoag off their land and forced many to convert to Christianity. It was a pray or die policy at one point. If you didn't become a Christian, you had to run away or be killed. I mean, can you imagine that? Believe in our fairy tales. Believe in the fairy tales we've been raised with, or else we murder you.
You see the root of the whackbird evangelicals that inhabit this country today. That's their lineage is join or die. Believe in Jesus or we'll murder you. Like that is the history of Christianity in this country, is murdering people into believing in your craziness and not educating. I mean, this is just
well, and it's funny because one of the arguments for religion that you hear is people say it's a famous quote, without God, all things are possible. Meaning without God, people would just kill each other and do whatever, fuck a goat, who knows?
Yeah.
But the truth is, most of all the most horrible things that are done and like done with no ramifications, no punishment, it's usually because of religion. So when it's done on a large scale, like, oh, we can just destroy this entire people's that's usually done with like, oh, well, because God told us this is the thing to do. Slavery, God told us this is right. So really, it's with God all things are possible.
With your concocted God. Like, and it's funny too, like so much this story that we hear so often, like the indigenous tribes, believed in some type of God or higher power. They were working in unison with the land, but because they didn't believe in this evil, mean Jesus guy, they were called savages. And it's like, no, their spirituality and interpretation of it seemed to be less insane than yours.
Well, and so much of it was connected to nature. I don't claim to know or study or understand all of it, but so much is connected to nature. It's like that form of religion or spirituality makes so much more sense than the kind where you just rape all the land and assume it's going to be fine. It makes so much more sense.
And I know we're generalizing. Look, there were 600 indigenous tribes in America, and there was fights within them, and people were looking for. I mean, like I get that, and
there was one dumb tribe of like 10 people that did worship a tree stump. So that listen, you're gonna have idiots in any group.
There's always one.
There's always one.
But yeah, in general, it's usually like the indigenous tribes were working in unison with the land because they needed to survive it. And then like the European colonizers with their crazy Christianity came in and said, no, we're going to control everything to our liking. And it's like, oh boy.
Yeah. And God put all this here for us to just exploit endlessly.
Do whatever we want with.
You could say, if you wanted to have God in your life, you could say God put this here maybe in certain ways for us to enjoy, not with the killing of animals necessarily, but with, in that the fact that there is food around, the fact that anything grows and that you can live. If you wanted to have God in your life, you could say, okay, God put that there, but wouldn't God want you to take care of that shit? Like, wouldn't he or she or it be like, yeah, well, I put it there so you could keep living, not eat it all and then just kill out everything, kill off everything.
I made it sustainable. Like Mother Nature is there's no garbage in Mother Nature. There's no waste. Everything is sustainable. Everything is just like, and you just figure that out and do that. Nah.
No, we want to eat it all until there's no more all to eat. We want to do it that way.
We'll kill each other and blame somebody.
We'll blame their God. We'll blame someone else's God. On a quick tangent on sustainability. This just occurred to me today. So Bezos and to some degree Elon Musk and some of these other billionaires have been saying, okay, well, we're using up all the Earth's resources. So Musk believes we have to go create a Martian city. And Bezos has said that eventually we will all live in pods in spaceships and you will visit Earth as like a destination, like going to visit a natural park. And his reasoning behind this is we will have too many people for the Earth to sustain. So we'll have to all go live in pods in the space and then come visit Earth. And it's like, gotta get this straight, motherfucker. Like, if you're in a pod, let's say a massive pod in space, and there's a million of you, this massive thing out in space, how are you going to live? You're going to live with incredibly like perfected sustainability. Like every little thing is going to be reused. You're going to make sure that all of the stuff is parsed out perfectly for each human being. The only way to survive in fucking pods is to have like awesome sustainability, the opposite of what we're fucking doing on this planet.
Gee, I wonder if we implemented that here, maybe we wouldn't need pods.
Hey, there turns out there's a pod in space that can hold about 10 billion people. If we just allot the resources correctly, it's called Earth.
Weird.
Mind blown.
Oh, God. How did we let that guy circle the Earth and not blow him out of the sky? I mean, how did that happen?
You do gotta wonder how the one guy putting the little tiny O-ring on one of the tubes wasn't like, maybe I leave out this O-ring.
Maybe
Maybe I put a book of matches near the gas tank. Maybe.
So, let's see. So Frank James, a well-known Wampanoag activist, called his people's welcoming and befriending the Pilgrims in 1621 perhaps our biggest mistake. In 1970, he created a national day of mourning that's become an annual event on Thanksgiving for some Wampanoags. After planners, so basically there was a 350th anniversary of the Mayflower landing 50 years ago, 1971, and they had this big celebration, and they invited him to come speak. I believe the same Wampanoag, Frank James, and he said he'd come speak if he could debunk the myths, some of the myths of the holiday of Thanksgiving, and they refused. They were basically like, "Come speak, and we'll go, yay, we have a Wampanoag here." And please don't correct any of our bullshit history. Please just tell us that we all had a big feast and it was lovely and we love each other. So instead, he and others started this National Day of Mourning that's gone on since 1970.
Like, you want this guy, the avoidance of the truth, the denial that is in so many human beings just in general, but it also just the diehard American historian that just doesn't want to hear this truth. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get what happens. Like, what do they think if this truth is sold and on a mass scale? What would it just like, you can't enjoy pumpkin pie anymore? You can still have your fucking dumb pumpkin pie and watch your stupid football and jab your dumb mouth full of a bunch of stupid food.
Graham, this country's built on lies, and you take those out, it's like taking the bottom bricks out of the Jenga puzzle.
Yeah, I know. This whole country is just built on lies. It is just like, and no one wants to face it. It's unbelievable.
But you're absolutely right, though. The irony is, if we actually confronted our history and taught people the real history, and without saying, we got to go backward, like we are where we are. There are millions upon millions of a variety of people in this area of the world, in this area of the country, etc. And so without going backwards, you could just acknowledge the past, what's been done, and say, and it'll inform how we behave now. Maybe we should give Native Americans a lot more freedom and rights, right to their own land, etc. Things like that. And it would inform us going forward. But instead, we're like, no, we're just fucking fingers in the ears, hand over the eyes.
Yeah, Native Americans can't even own their own land on reservations. Like, they can't. It's just like unbelievable. I mean, all the loopholes with the FBI that creates this murder, the high number of murdered and missing Indigenous women, because tribal police can't even investigate on their own land. It's just like it would make us all feel better about being Americans. I mean, it would make us feel like, okay, we fixed it. Like, it would make for a better country. It would make a more equitable country. It would make for a better country financially. I mean, it would just make everything, if we got rid of the systemic racism and dealt with this stuff correctly, it would make the country better. So like, these people that are living in denial are just like, they're just like holding the whole country back. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, and it gets in terms of their land and everything, it gets even more hilarious. In 2015, about 300 acres was put. So the Wampanoag they didn't even get a reservation, because for a long time the federal government denied they were a tribe any longer. But in 2015, about 300 acres, so under Obama, 300 acres was put in a federal trust for the Wampanoag, the Mashpee Wampanoag, under President Obama. That it essentially gave them a reservation, although it's composed of dozens of parcels that are scattered throughout the Cape Cod area and represents 0.5% of their historical land. So they were able to get 0.5% of their historical land. Then Trump came into office and put in motion efforts to undo that. So to me, this is the perfect example of the difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. Obama is half of 1% better than Donald Trump. That's the difference.
That's it. And that's the difference. That the Democratic Party will give you this teeny little table scrap.
Yeah.
That's kind of an insult, is barely does anything. It's just a symbolic gesture. It's the best it can be. And the Republicans still shit on that. Like, that's how awful these dumb two parties are, is that. And
if you want a half of 1% of change, then I think they should. I think the Democrats going forward, all of them should run with that as the motto.
Their logo.
Half of 1% of change.
That's it. That's what this infrastructure bill is. That's what this Build Back Better nonsense. It's a half of 1% better.
Absolutely. So Trump puts in motion something to undo it. Now Biden's in office, and it comes down. So it's up in the air as to whether they actually have this land or not, or can develop on this land. And so now it's up to the Secretary of the Interior under Biden, the first ever Native American in a cabinet, Deb Haaland, Secretary of the Interior. But so far, it doesn't seem like they have the answer. So she's not acting quickly on saying, yeah, that 300 acres is your land. Do with it as you see fit. So, yeah, I mean, and I don't, maybe she'll do it eventually, but this is classic. I mean, they wouldn't have put her in that position if she wasn't about, 90% in line with the Democratic Party. So,
of course, again, another symbolic gesture. First ever Native American woman in Congress. Awesome. That's great. That should have happened. Cabinet. That should have happened, decades ago. Great. But then it's the end of the day, still going to be just a neoliberal corporate Democrat, that's not going to shake anything up, not going to fight for anything, just going to say, oh, we're better than Trump. We're 0.5% better than Trump. That's all they've got.
So just this last little piece. 5 years ago, the tribe started a school on its land that has about 24 kids who range in age from 2 to 9. They learn math, science, history, and other subjects in their native Algonquin language. The tribe also offers language classes for older tribal members, many of whom were forced to not speak their language and therefore eventually forgot it, which stems from the time where they could literally be killed for being taught to read. Right. Here's a quote from Stephen Peters. History has not been kind to our people. Children were taken away. Our language was silenced. He said, people were killed, but still we persevered. We found a way to stay.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's a couple of small bright spots. I mean, a couple of 0.5% of change.
Yeah, that was 0.5% of positive there at the end of that story for you, Graham. I peppered some Parmesan cheese on top of the turd.
Well, as far as this show goes, I'll take it. Thanks, Lee.
We're gonna rename the show. I'll take it.
I'll take it. Oh God. Well, usually these segments end with me getting punched in the dick emotionally, but this was just sort of a kind of a just sort of, I don't know, tickle my balls just a little bit.
That was better than your normal, just defeated moment of silence.
Oh,
that was
just like, I want to get. Oh,
I'll take. Well, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
that's much better than normal. That's
just like not fully defeated, but just sort of like, okay, well, cool. I don't after your segment, I don't want a meteor to hit the planet and take out the human race. So I think that's 0.5% better, right?
There you go. There you go.
Folks, before we get into our second segment, go to liberapay.com/government secrets and support everything Lee Camp and I are doing. It's 0.5% better than your favorite podcast.
I'd say definitely, easily 0.5% better than your favorite podcast.
Whatever the number one podcast in iTunes is right now, we're 0.5% better.
There is no better podcast for information, historical information, mixed with humor and hair commentary. There's
And
Nothing that has those components.
that puts all those things together to make you realize how awful America is. Like nobody can tell you how awful America is the way we do it.
It's true. It's true.
So check that out. So now let's go to and hit the like button, share this, subscribe. If you're wherever platform you're listening or watching, give it a thumbs up, give it a 5-star review. All those things help grow our show as we go into
Government secrets segment number 2. Beep, 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 beep.
well, Lee Camp, guess what? Graham went on some operation hunting.
Oh God.
I was looking up various operations compared to our list.
I could picture a version of the game Operation where it's called CIA Operation, and when you get it wrong, it zaps your balls instead of the little tweezers. Bzzzt, it just a little zap to the balls.
Yeah, it's called Operation, the Gitmo version.
Yeah.
So this just, I typed in CIA Operation and was looking at a couple things. I was looking at Operation Cyclone, which we covered, about how we backed the Mujahideen and we helped create how awful Afghanistan. We helped do all that. And then this just popped up. Operation Devil Eyes. Now,
what could be wrong there?
there's nothing. What could possibly be wrong there?
I mean, it couldn't possibly be as good as Operation Uranus, or what was it?
Yeah.
Project Uranus. What did they call it? Yeah, no, it was an operation. It was Operation Uranus, which sounds like a colonoscopy operation.
It does. It just sounds like an Operation Uranus. We're going to do an operation of Uranus. It's a Uranus operation. Operation Devil Eyes was the code name for a secret psychological warfare program in 2005 and 2006 by the United States Central Intelligence Agency to
Oh my God, this was recent.
Yes, to develop an Osama bin Laden action figure to distribute in South Asia, especially Afghanistan and Pakistan. The CIA worked in conjunction with toy maker Donald Levine, a former Hasbro executive. So now the CIA is cherry picking from Hasbro. So it makes you go like, uh-oh, was like the Frisbee or Ganip Ganop or any of those games. It's like,
wait, did they make the game Operation?
Maybe it was like, oh, let's field test this electrocuting people. He was credited with the father of the G.I. Joe toys. So of course they hired the guy that was like, good at promoting war and getting young kids, especially young boys, myself included, to play with war and think that war is fun and cool. Which
I loved G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe was great.
G.I. Joe was the best.
Kung Fu Grip, come on, best action figure ever.
Absolutely.
Levine designed a 12-inch lifelike figure of bin Laden whose face was painted with material that, when heated, would peel off to reveal a demon-like visage with red skin, green eyes, and black markings. Did we get a photo of this in the slides to show people?
Let me see.
Because this is like insane.
No. If you just have a web page open, you could just share that.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Let me show you this webpage because you need to see.
And for those of you listening on the podcast who do not get to see the things we say you need to see, you can join our live stream or watch the videos on really any of our channels, youtube.com/Graham Elwood, Rockfin. We both have pages there, and youtube.com/Moment of Clarity. We put it up at all those places. So if you are dying to see the images, check it out.
Yes, go to rockfin.com and you can watch this show on either one of our channels where you get to see this image.
Holy shit. Dude, he looks like the Dark Sith from Star Wars or something.
Exactly.
What is that?
It was like, so they sold an Osama bin Laden action doll. What the goal was, and I'll get into the details, was they wanted like young kids to buy it and think, oh yay, Osama bin Laden, he's our hero. And then it melts and they go, oh God, he's evil. He's the devil. Like this is like more insane than the vampire one that we did to a certain extent, where they would like kill people, and I forget which country it was, and then hang them and put holes in their necks, like the Philippines.
Philippines, yeah.
This was up for auction. This is CBS's put this on their Twitter feed in November 10th of 2014. So wow, this is also a This Week in
Wow, we have 3 of them.
This is 3 this weeks. So let me continue to read, because there's 2 articles. One is a Wikipedia thing that I'm referencing just to give you the goal of the program was to scare children and their parents in an effort to turn public opinion against the real Osama bin Laden or Al-Qaeda. Levine sought to manufacture the toys in China, and he had business contacts there who could assist. So again, the good old CIA wants to terrify children. So that's cool. Only cool people do that. In 2014, the CIA acknowledged the existence of the program, but said it had been discontinued after Levine had produced only 3 prototype figurines. According to the Washington Post, however, an anonymous source in China with direct knowledge of the project said that hundreds of the toys were created and shipped to Karachi, Pakistan in 2006.
They were giving them out in Pakistan?
Yeah, in Pakistan, hundreds of them. And why this got a lot of news in 2014 was that one was sold in an auction for $11,879. Another one sold for $6,200 in 2015. The remaining one of the 3 known prototypes is believed to be in ownership of the CIA. They've got it in their vault of evil, stupid ideas or whatever.
Their little glass case of stupid ideas we've had.
Like,
so did they where did kids find these? Did they advertise? Were they at like Toys R Us or some shit?
Yeah, I don't know if they just like sold them in Toys R Us.
Or did they rain them down from airplanes on countries that desperately needed food? They need food. We're dropping action figures of Devil Osama bin Laden.
It's really like, I know all the money and research that went into this stupid program that they didn't even use. Gee, I'm so glad we didn't just give people food and education and healthcare. I'm so glad we didn't do that. We wasted money on this dumb doll.
What we have a lot of like food over here. So there's a lot of veggies. Like, so we got extra celery and broccoli and stuff. Should we just drop that?
No.
No.
Drop a devil Obama or Osama bin Laden, whatever.
Not in Obama. Yeah.
Not in Obama. I'm so sorry. Oh, because he just dropped bombs.
Meanwhile, Afghanistan was producing Devil Obama action figures.
There is, and since they were shipping the dolls to one of the warmest climates in the world, there's no denying that the heat-sensitive material would fulfill its purpose to dissolve and reveal the evil-looking face. Like the dolls were 12 inches tall and in many ways looked like the G.I. Joes. In fact, the Bin Laden doll was designed by the father, by Donald Levine. This is the second article.
They were like, get me the guy who designed the G.I. Joes. And they pick up the red phone to the G.I. Joe designer. We need him. Get him back in service. He's 95 years old, sir. It doesn't matter. He's mainly working with colostomy bags now, sir. That's all right. Get him to work on a new doll. A new action figure. It'll be the Osama bin Laden, and it'll come with a jack-off grip so he can jack off.
It's like, I'm sure when, like, only the CIA could make Hasbro like toys evil, like just like only like, hey, a bunch of kids having fun. How do we turn that into something evil? How do we just like, kids are having a birthday party? Yes, let's make frosting for kids' cakes, maybe a psychotropic drug that makes the kids want to murder each other and kill their parents, and we'll drop. Like, I'm like, you guys are fucking sick, the sickest, twisted jackasses.
Yeah.
Like, how many of these dumb operations have we done that just were insane? Our Operation Artichoke we've done, Operation Easy Chair. Remember that? Jesus.
It's amazing that they get paid to sit around in a room. It's like a bad sitcom writer's room, but they're coming up with ways to kill people or manipulate people.
It's a sitcom writer's room. It's like just guys come up with the dumbest. There's no such thing as a bad idea. All
There's
right.
no such thing as a bad idea. How about I'm just spitballing here. I'm just spitballing. How about it's a wacky beer helmet, but the beer is cyanide, and the helmet is a knife through their head.
And we give it away at monster truck rallies. Like, what the fuck? This plan, the Operation Devilface, came as part of influence operations, where the government uses tactics in order to change the majority view of a particular person or entity. And the guy from Hasbro passed away in 2014. And when his family was
actually
questioned,
choked on one of the little swords that come with the GI Joes. It was very sad.
What happened is he died in a fire and his face changed and turned into a devil. No, that's not what happened. But they questioned his family apparently when he passed away, and they said Don Levine was a dedicated patriot and proud Korean War veteran. When called on, he was honored to assist our country.
Proud, that's how you end up making the G.I. Joe cartoon. Proud Korean War veteran. In the Korean War, we literally bombed so thoroughly that the top generals were saying, we don't know what else to bomb. We've killed everyone. Like a third of their population died. It was the most horrific shit that you could imagine. And this guy's like, doing my duty.
And we still lost. I mean, we crossed the 49th parallel and the Chinese flooded in, and we lost, in the Chosin Valley. I mean, it was just like, it's the forgotten war. Nobody's ever done a lot of movies on that war, but like, it's the guise of patriotism can rope so many people in. I mean, I don't know if this Levine guy was bad or evil or nuts, or maybe he was a good guy that believed in his country, but it just shows you the evil of the CIA. Again, how much money was spent on this thing that could have just like, how many people could have been helped with the money just for the research and the development and the couple hundred toys. And it's like,
how about just like millions of action figures that they drop down on a country, and when it heats up, the kids find out it's edible.
Yeah.
And they can survive a little longer.
How about the Army Corps of Engineers just comes in and builds roads and schools and hospitals? And how about that? Maybe we could do that.
Yeah. How about just spitballing here, spitballing. How about an action figure that when you squeeze its legs together, it ends the economic sanctions on Iran? How about a My Little Pony that when you dunk it in cold water, it allows Venezuela to get fucking medication because you're fucking sociopaths?
How about the Malibu Barbie beach house that actually houses all of the homeless people that are in LA? How about that?
In actual Malibu.
In Malibu. They all get to stay at a Malibu beach house next to Matthew McConaughey or whatever, whoever's up there. Yeah, it's
no, I
America
think he's busy. He's busy getting ready to run for like Congress in Texas as a Republican, I think.
Oh, great. That's all we need. Another dumb Republican. Oh.
You know what I like about this Congress? I keep getting older and they have the same bad ideas.
Oh, what about a Green New Deal? All right, all right, all right. You didn't answer the question. You didn't answer the question. Now you're just, all of his press conferences are going to be like one of those insane Lincoln ads that just make no sense. It's not about hugging trees. Like, what are you saying? Just Lincoln commercial crazy. Just nuts. He jumps into a pool.
It's just him talking in a nice little drawl.
Yeah. And everyone will go, oh, this is what we need. And I'll just be like, this is what we all got to do. And it's like, what's your policy? We just got to be all right, man. We got to just play right ball and talk to that bull that's standing in front of my Lincoln. Like, what are you saying?
Dude, it was like a few of the, like one or two of the chapters of his book were the audio book were like free. And so I clicked on it and it's hilarious. It's so much like fucking like pseudo Zen garbage nonsense. that like it's just like, man, I just live every day. Like, you got to smile. And like, what? Okay, what the fuck do I do with that?
Ugh. You know, you just gotta live with a smile. Yeah, if I was a good-looking celebrity millionaire with a beautiful wife who owned a soccer team, yeah, I'd probably be pretty smiley too. Like, what are you talking about? God,
man, you just gotta give more tax cuts to the rich and have a smile every day.
Yeah, every day. Got to work, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. He's probably got some bullshit bootstrap story that's like, okay, rich kid.
Yeah, he's like, well, he did. Yeah, he like grew up poor or whatever, or lower class. But then he's like, standing around a set one day and they're like, hey, what if we put you in the film and make you famous for the rest of your life? All right, sounds good.
All right,
man.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, some female producer went, hey, is it cool if you take your shirt off and we put you on camera? And he went, all right. And there you go. Now he's famous. Great.
It all comes down to hard work, Graham. It all comes down to hard work.
Yes. The hard work of being bored with good genes. Yeah.
If you just worked a little harder, Graham, then that hair thing you're working on would just be straight as an arrow.
It
really would.
Exactly. I didn't work hard enough. This is my laziness.
You didn't work hard enough.
It's not the same hairline that my dad had. No, I'm lazy. That's what this is. I didn't manifest keeping the hairline I had in my 20s. That's my fault. Fucking idiots.
You didn't believe in yourself is the problem, Graham.
That's it. I didn't believe in myself. Oh, if he runs, I'm going to move to Texas and run against him. Like it's the only way I would ever live in Texas. It's like Austin is like West Berlin, but there's no surfing. Like there's no surfing in Texas. I couldn't live there. Like but I would run against that guy.
And your whole motto, your whole campaign would just be your rom-coms suck. That'd be the whole campaign. One issue candidacy for Graham Elwood.
Your rom-coms suck. That would be just every campaign. Like, what are you gonna do for Medicare for all? Remember that one movie that he just was still living in his parents' house, failure to launch, and Terry Bradshaw was his dad? Are we really gonna let that into the Congress, folks?
Are we just gonna let that movie slide? Listen,
we're just all pretend like that didn't happen. Somebody let Terry Bradshaw get an acting job. We're just gonna let that happen.
Are we just gonna let Matthew McConaughey have the brain matter that oozed out my ears when I watched that? Like, does he just get to keep that forever?
I mean, we're going to just pretend these Lincoln ads didn't happen? Is that what we're going to do as a country?
Sure, True Detective was good, but it was the writing mostly. I mean, let's be honest here.
He didn't write that. You and I both know he didn't write that.
Furthermore, it's not true, and he's not a detective. Discuss.
Yeah. He didn't write Interstellar either. Like, come on. So that's my segment.
The government secrets about Matthew McConaughey. Listen, I don't mean to bum anybody out here, but he's always playing the same character called Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, the Lincoln lawyer. It's just Matthew McConaughey going, all right, I'm going to get you off, brother. Like, that's everything he does.
But sometimes that is fun to watch. I will give you.
Lincoln Lawyer is a good movie.
So is Interstellar. I love Interstellar.
So is Interstellar. Interstellar is a good movie.
Furthermore, one of the best movies made on environment collapse.
Yeah, exactly. Interstellar is about the environment collapsing, like what the future is going to look like.
But I got bad news for you, folks. Future magnetic waves are not going to save us this time.
You're not going to go meet your daughter in some time travel fucking Jenga house or whatever. Like, that's not going to happen.
No, you're not.
So,
Government Secrets, episode 65 in the books.
We covered a lot of ground today, Lee Camp.
Man, we covered a fucking lot.
Are you close to being a dad yet?
It's coming in a couple weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you going to name the kid Matthew McConaughey?
Just McConaughey.
I think you should just name the kid Interstellar.
I mean, look, he would get laid a lot in college if he were named Interstellar.
What's up, Interstellar? How you doing, man? Just boom, flying
You
around
know,
the
it's interesting.
dorm.
You give a kid a certain name, and you can guarantee he will not be normal, which is good. You don't want boring. So you give a kid a certain name, it'll change his life.
Yeah. You just give a regular kid, like I was named Graham, which is like wasn't very common. I was called Graham Cracker a lot and Golden Grahams and all the Graham products. And then
all the Graham products.
right. Anytime there was a new Graham something cereal, they would deluxe Grahams. Like that was that's you. I was like I was called all of that shit.
Yeah,
S'mores.
you had to make sure not to be seen eating Teddy Grahams, or you'd never hear the end of it. Even though you love Teddy Grahams, it ruined Teddy Grahams for you.
Yeah, I could never have a Teddy Graham. But it's actually Graham is a family name. It comes from Scotland, meaning heroic. So
there you go.
Here I am living the heroic life of a dipshit YouTuber.
I beg to differ. You are just a YouTuber. There is no dipshittery. No dipshittery involved.
You got to know that all the stuff we do online really doesn't matter.
Well, it's mattering less with suppression. So there is that. It is mattering less. I will say that.
Join Government Secrets where we matter less. Like that should be your slogan.
We're mattering less every day.
Every day we matter just a little bit less. Join the matterless world of Government Secrets and Lee Camp and Graham Elwood. Well, dude, great fun. And I think we should take next week off because of Gluttony Day, right?
Because of Gluttony Day, yeah, I imagine so. I will be way too drunk to do that on Friday.
I'm actually traveling and running around, but I'm gonna go to the LA Auto Show.
Oh yeah, you got shows coming up, right?
Yeah, I got a show November 27th, folks. If you're in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles area, see Ron Placone and I Saturday after Thanksgiving, November 27th, at this cool little theater in Toluca Lake in the beautiful San Fernando Valley. So go to grahamelwood.com and get your tickets there. How about you? Do you have a live show and anything?
I don't have any live shows coming up. Why you got to hit on a sore subject, Graham?
Yikes! Sorry, this is uncomfortable.
No, I don't know. I started. I opened for Jimmy at in Baltimore, and that was
cool. That
was great fun. Yeah, I'm thinking of setting some things up maybe for the spring.
Cool.
I'm working on it.
Well, if you're doing some, I mean, maybe it's
how tough is it to drag you to the East Coast? That's the question. That's the answer. End of answer.
I would come to the East Coast to do another Government Secrets with you for sure. I absolutely would. To do one in New York or something, I would do that. I would come to the East Coast just for that.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
And
well,
as long as baseball season's going.
Yeah, if we could work it out where you had several things out here or something.
Yeah, we do a bunch of things, and maybe I'd come out. I'd be on Redacted.
Yeah.
We do a Gov Secrets. Maybe I'd do a couple of live shows with Ron or something. We do a whole East Coast thing, and I maybe go watch a baseball game or something. I'd come out for that.
Go to a few dozen strip clubs. Yeah.
Yeah. See what coke and hookers are like on the East Coast. And
I mean, if we could set up a way that you could surf here from LA, I feel like that might get you here.
If I somehow made it down the coast a little bit and surfed, I would surf I've never surfed the East Coast, so I would.
Oh yeah, I don't think the waves are as good.
No, they're not. But I mean, I just like surfing different places. I don't.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. No, but let's talk more because like if you're gonna put together, I mean, I'd come out in the spring when the
All
weather's
right,
not completely
let's try
miserable.
and figure something out.
Okay, sweet. We hatched it out, guys. You just heard a tour production meeting.
You, you just heard it. Apathetic, ambivalent discussion on possible dates that could happen if a lot of things end up lining up.
But they couldn't, so this all just could be talk. But stay tuned. All right, buddy. Well, where else can people watch all your business?
RadIndieMedia.com. Highly recommend it. Website I created. It's independent, non-corporate, and free of charge. Also, it's kind of in beta, but there's a Rad Indie Media app, but you can't get in the app stores. The only way to get it is to go to Rad Indie Media on your phone and then click one of the little tabs like the 3 dots in the corner, or on different phones, it's down below, and then you hit either add to home screen or install, and that will give you the Rad Indie Media app. Unfortunately, on iPhones, it only works with Safari browser right now, so you might have to do it through Safari browser. But anyway, you can get the app. And anyway, that's all the redacted stuff is there. All of tons of cool left indie media is there. So I'd say just go to Rad Indie Media to find all my stuff.
Sweet. And folks, just go to grahamelwood.com for my show dates, sign up for the newsletter, and support everything I'm doing. Patreon, Rockfin, PayPal, and all that other business. It all helps. I'm in month. Oh, and I started posting videos on Straight Arrow News, which is like a news platform that has like both conservative, right and left views.
And they selected you because of your hair. You got the straight arrow.
Yes. They said, look at that. He's got a straight arrow haircut. That's what I got to keep on brand for them.
You do.
And keep the Count Chocula straight arrow so I can post more videos. So there's a video up there about Medicare for all and the military industrial complex, military spending. So go over there and watch it, because if I'm bringing a lot of new eyeballs to their website, then they'll keep having me over there. So it's cool. All right, buddy. I think that's our show.
Thanks, man. And be well.
Be well. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Or happy Gluttony Day, or whatever we're calling it. Sorry, I didn't mean to use the colonizer term.
Later, man.
Later. Bye. Lake Cap, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I know. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all that business. And then, of course, if you want to support what we're doing over at rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, if you tip the show, I will read it. Like what we've got right from Chris Garnett. Shave your knuckles for justice, Chris. Thank you for supporting us at rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. For the interstellar laughs, you got it. I'm glad you laughed. I'm glad the show makes you laugh. It's fun to do. It makes me laugh. Lee and I laugh. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Tony DeMeo, shave your knuckles for justice. I've been in a horrible mood and you guys are so funny. You cheered me up. Oh, I love hearing that, Tony. Thank you. Good. Then the show's doing its job. You matter to me, Graham. Thank you. I was getting a little negative. Sorry. Thank you. Could you surf the Panama Canal? Yes. Go down through the canal, come up on the East Coast. I'll do that. That's easy to do. East Coast hurricane season brings some surf worthy waves. Thank you, Truth to Tweet. That's good to know. Good to see Melissa H. and Truth to Tweet and everybody over at rockfan.com. Well, what do we get over here? 245 likes. Nice. Even with them suppressing us on YouTube, we're still getting okay numbers. So folks, support Government Secrets at liberapay.com/government secrets. That directly goes to the show for Lee and I. And then you can support everything I do, Political Vigilante, Rockfin. If you're a Rockfin premium member, you get Lee's premium, my premium, Status Quo. I was just on Status Quo earlier today. So I've been talking all day. My voice is shot. I started early, didn't get a chance. I got to go to yoga in the afternoon. I usually go in the morning. Tony DeMeo, shave your knuckles for justice. Here's a government secret. In the 1980s, Congress gave reparations to the families of Japanese people who were in internment camps, yet still no reparations for African defendants of slaves. Wow. I did not know that, Tony. Thank you for sharing that with us. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys giving us that information. That's good to know. Here's my my column on Straight Arrow News. They're going to be dropping another one on Medicare for All soon. So check that out. I'm actually going to record another one today. So come to DC. Yeah, we'll be out there. We'll put it together. Yeah, if I came out to the East Coast and like did Redacted in DC, and then Lee and I did, maybe Ron Placone and I do a show in DC, and then Lee and I do a government secret up there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's International Toilet Day. Thank you for letting us know about that. Then come to Burlington, Vermont. All right. All right, folks. I have more work to do. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching Government Secrets. It's always fun to do. I'm going to be doing on Monday, the Late Night Crypto Lounge Monday is going to be happening actually 2 hours earlier, because tomorrow's next week is kind of an odd week with the holiday. So we're going to do Monday's Crypto Lounge will be at 6 o'clock Pacific time. Kate, please note the new time, 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern, this Monday, the 22nd. So check that out. Kate, if we could put that, here's the Thanksgiving show is up there. So get the tickets at grandmelwood.com. But yeah, Crypto Lounge on Monday, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. And I don't know if that's going to be a permanent change, but definitely next week, the 22nd. So next week, next week, because of the holiday and everything, I'll do the Crypto Lounge Monday night at 6 p.m. And then I'll go live Tuesday, the 23rd and Wednesday, and then take Thursday, Friday off. We don't have a Ross down here, so pack your shirts. You got that, Annabelle Corley. Yeah, I'll do a show in Langley, Virginia. Australia's open for business, so that's good. Yeah, right on. Yeah, Australia had the fewest COVID deaths. Is that accurate? That's cool. That's good to know. North Carolina banks in July. Great hurricane-related waves. Nice. Is Granny Petrol cooking New York Thanksgiving dinner this year? No, I'm going to a friend's. But I don't know. She might do Christmas Eve. I don't know what I'm doing for Christmas, but we'll see. I know the Granny Petrol cooking dinner last year was great, so I don't think I'll be able to do that this year. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. We will be doing again, Monday, the Crypto Lounge will be at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern. There it is on the board right there. Thank you, Kate, for posting that. So thanks, everybody, for watching. And go over to rockman.com/Graham Elwood, where Matt S. just tipped the show. Thanks, Matt. I might have missed it, but did you discuss the Rittenhouse verdict at the top? No, we just did a government secrets. I talked about it a lot on Jordan's status coup today. So as I posted on Twitter today, if he would not have brought a gun, no one would have died. and he should have at least been charged with reckless endangerment at the very least. And to defend him means you're pro cop. And it's nuts. So, and anti-protest. And what this precedent says is then if you've got then if you feel threatened or there's danger, you get to bring a gun. Okay. So I guess all of us on the left should have brought guns to the Capitol on January 6th because they were threatening our democracy. That's what this is saying. So it's pretty insane. At the very least, he should have been charged with reckless endangerment. At the very least. If he wouldn't have brought a gun, no one would have died. I don't care what the media, this or that, argue this or that, and the fact that he was white, he got off. If a black guy would have brought an automatic weapon and started walking towards the cops, he would have been shot, and the cops would have just been acquitted for killing a black guy. Let's not forget the protest was about a white guy can literally hold a gun, be carrying an automatic weapon, and he's not seen as much of a threat as a black man who has a cell phone in his hand. They shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times. That's what those protests were about. It wasn't just like, hey, let's go out and riot and loot for no reason. And why did this kid deputize himself? How did he get to just do that? So we all can do that now? We can all just take AR-15s and go and deputize, and we're just going to, if anytime we feel like something isn't safe, I see a bunch of Trump supporters together. Well, maybe there are a bunch of domestic terrorists who are going to try to take over the Capitol again. So let's all get guns and I get to defend it. Right? Anyway. No surfing during a hurricane. Yeah, I talked about it a lot. Watch status coup. All right, that's our show, everybody. Yeah, if a black man had shot 3 people, there wouldn't have been a trial because he would have been shot dead. There would have been a trial for the cops that shot him, and they would have all been acquitted. Even if they're at the most, there probably wouldn't have been a trial. So thanks for watching Government Secrets, everybody. Yeah. %0.5 of positive. Yep. All right. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday, 6:00 Pacific time, new time on Monday for the Late Night Crypto Lounge. And then we'll do a couple live streams next week and then take most of the week off because of the holiday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching Government Secrets. Like, share, subscribe, and do all that fun stuff. Have a great weekend. I'll be surfing. Boom.